Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go.
Box filled with
Oh, sorry.
meaningless stuff. Meaningless stuff.
What is that?
Did you hear it?
My Sharia Moore.
Oh, no.
Oh, my Sherry Moore, a trigger warning, trigger warning.
All right. So, and the reason I played that, although it was hard to hear, I apologize. Because if you think, this was his wedding song, this was his trigger, but it's not about two people in love. It's about one person pining after somebody else who doesn't necessarily love them back. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I chose that. So let's start. Silver Linings Playbook, released on Christmas Day in 2012, 2012. It was directed by David O. Russell, and he also wrote the screenplay, but it was based on a book, not by David O. Russell, by another writer. But David O. Russell is also known for American Hustle, which actually came out the next year in 2013. Silver Linings Playbook had a $21 million budget. In the US and Canada, it grossed 132 million, and worldwide 236 million. So did quite well. Jennifer Lawrence, who was amazing, Bradley Cooper, Robert De Niro, Jacki Weaver, who plays the mother, Chris Tucker, who plays Danny, one of my favorite characters. I love it when he tells them to black it up.
Yeah.
And as far as awards go, they go on and on. Oscar, Jennifer Lawrence won for actress in a lead role. Bradley Cooper was nominated, so was Robert De Niro, so was Jacki Weaver. AFI, it was the movie of the year. Golden Globes, again, Jennifer Lawrence won. It was nominated for Best Picture, and and so was Bradley Cooper was nominated. And then for the Screen Actors Guild, SAG Awards, Jennifer Lawrence won. I mean, she swept that year. And Cooper and De Niro were both nominated, but did not win. So it's a very irreverent treatment of mental illness. I think it was David O. Russell's way of sort of showing both the pathos, but also the humor in the lives of people that live with mental illness. By the way, David O. Russell's son is bipolar. That's the kid that with the camera is David O. Russell's son.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's funny.
I know, isn't that great?
Yes.
I had many scenes that I thought were just amazing. And then there's a few things that I want to talk about, but I'm not going to start. I would rather other people kind of talked about what they liked about the movie or what touched them or whatever. I also loved the soundtrack, though. There were a lot of great songs, Girl from the North Country, and of course, My Sharia Moore, Led Zeppelin, What It Is and What It Should Never Be, Johnny Mathis, Misty, there's a lot of great songs. So anyway, I open up the floor, to whoever has a burning need to go first.
I don't have a need, but I mean, they're entertaining. I remembered most of it from seeing it before.
Uh-huh.
I thought I was talking with my son on the way back from eating, and he was quoting a comedian that said, I think that Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence are going to be okay. It's hard to look at them and say, oh, they're mentally challenged. Their characters were hard to, it was hard to relate to them as mentally challenged characters. But they did. I mean, they did a great job of it and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, especially in early scenes when Bradley Cooper would just, when his mania just went out, out the window. And he would, and didn't you just hate that cop? But they would call and Gio would show up. But lots of characters actually, you know, Pat, the character Bradley Cooper's Pat was bipolar. They don't say what Tiffany is, but sort of within the psychological circles, we think she might be borderline personality disordered. And then Pat Sr. had his OCD.
Yeah.
Dolores, the mother, was an enabler. Danny had, what was it, anxiety, ADD, and substance issues, but he was just endearing. He was just the most wonderful of characters. I think Nikki had narcissistic personality disorder.
Oh, interesting. Because you really didn't get to, you know, you heard about her, but you really didn't get to know her. And
Well,
that's
one thing you knew about her was that she had
you had an affair
in
with
her own home. You don't do that. I mean, you don't do it anyway, but it's like, don't be stupid. But she's like so narcissistic. She's like, I'll do it wherever I want to do it.
Yeah. Well, and again, sorry, I looked at it a little differently. I said, of course, she's not happy. They weren't happy. It sounded like after Bradley or Pat was talking about, you know, it's normal for people not to talk for a couple of weeks. It's normal for me to want her to change the way she talks and the way she acts and the way she dresses. It's normal. He thought that him telling her, this is how I want, you know, his picture of who she is, in my opinion, you know, that was normal. That was a normal way that people act and that people relate to each other. And that's why when I just got a sense that they were never happy. I mean, like maybe for their whole relationship had to be just based on non-adult, you know, just a dysfunctional relationship, and it just got progressively worse and worse. And I agree. I mean, she, you know, I don't think she just didn't want to be in the marriage, and that was one way to certainly get out of it. But I loved all the characters. I loved him. I loved that he had no filter. And those are the things that just made me laugh. You know, when he would keep talking about Tiffany's dead husband, you know, I always also thought that the relationship that Pat has an older brother that everybody wishes that, you know, Pat was like his older brother. Tiffany had an older sister and everybody wished she was like her older sister. I thought that, you know, that was very similar, that connected them, that they have siblings that are, I'm going to use air quotes, normal. The other thing that I liked was, like, I wrote down a couple of, Excelsior. So I know what Excelsior means, but when I think of Excelsior, I always think of that movie, The Bad Seed. And Excelsior is the stuff that goes up in flames real fast. So every time I heard Excelsior, I thought of his kind of outbursts as opposed to the excellence. I know he kept on talking about excellence, but I kept on seeing and hearing outbursts that Excelsior does, you know, when it gets triggered or flamed. What else did there was a bunch of things. I loved that I didn't think that I don't know if I would call them mentally challenged. I thought they were both really smart, both of them. I thought Tiffany especially, because she wasn't having, as far as maybe she was going to therapy. It didn't seem like she was going to therapy. She was just taking medication, but it did seem like that she was really trying to cope. You know, she recognized that coping with her husband's death initially, based on the guilt that she felt, is that she was running around with the entire office. But then she recognized it and then changed. And I just thought that they both were really smart, and that what I thought was acceptance at the end of it was like the core, is that she got him to accept who he was and she would accept who she was. So anyway, I love. I also, the mother, Pat, what's her name? Jacki being an enabler, that was the thing. It was like, there's a scene where Tiffany is talking about why do I keep doing nice things for people and what do I get out of it? And I could have heard Jacki saying the exact same thing, that I'm doing everything. She's the only one that's holding everything together. And at the same time, she's an enabler and doesn't want to, doesn't want to even consider that she just wants her family to be right. So anyway, I shouldn't go on, but I really enjoyed it. I really liked all the interconnections, how the father and the son were so similar, even though they had different disorders, they still had that outbursts, and fighting and all that. And it's also Philly, that's kind of it's kind of a strange place anyway. So anyway, I enjoyed it, really loved it. I loved all the characters. I thought De Niro did a great job. I thought I just thought all of them did such a good job and I thought it opened up people's eyes to mental illness. And hopefully, because that was back in 2012? Is that right, dear?
Yeah.
So hopefully people are more open, because at that time, people weren't, I don't think, as open as they are now to maybe getting help when there's when they're into a situation where they need it. So anyway, you think I liked it? Yeah, I did. Sorry. But
I liked it too, Karen, a lot. It was fun. And I wanted to look up this Excelsior thing. They brought up that it's the motto for the state of New York. And so I think the dad didn't want Pat saying, Excelsior, because I don't know, some OCD thing. But as well as being some sort of fire starter type thing, it means upward and higher. So I don't know, it's okay. As far as a word goes, I'm not sure about it though in this movie. So silver linings. Whenever anything goes wrong, there's always a silver lining. It's love, it's goodness, it's a brighter side of things to come. And that's one thing that Pat believed. His dad, oh, what a mess. Did anybody hear when he was talking about the Eagles playing and he mentioned that Andy Reid was the coach?
Yeah.
Yeah. I went, oh my gosh, that's been a while ago.
He was there longer than he's been in Kansas City.
Yeah. So I just thought that was cool. So the mother, I think she was a little compulsive as well. She fixed the same thing every Sunday for the football games, but that might have been a dad directive, Pat Sr., something that he wanted. And she called Tiffany to go run with Pat when he had his trash bag on and his sweatsuit out there. She called Tiffany to go run with him. So she was kind of a little manipulative in her own way that nobody caught on to. The dance at the end.
Yeah.
It's about, somebody wrote that it's an accumulation of their relationship. The whole dance, it's about trust and everything that they had done together and the way that they looked at each other when they were dancing. They saw no one else in that room. That's where their focus was. Now that lift was a little awkward.
The big move was my favorite. Oh my God.
But they saved it.
It was so funny.
They saved it and got the 5, right? Like this behind me. And that's what they had to have so that Dad could win back all of his money for the restaurant. Oh my gosh. But Psychology Today had an article that said that Pat was not bipolar, that was a legal ploy, and that there was really nothing wrong with him. I don't know.
Say it again.
That Pat was not bipolar, that was a legal ploy.
Well, he obviously had issues.
Sentence.
I mean, it was a legal ploy in that he took, that not responsible for the fact that he almost murdered the
Yeah.
people. Like, really, Nikki, that guy? But
Yeah,
but he took that and because he would get out in 8 months versus if he'd been convicted of,
and going to
assault, he
jail.
might have gone for a lot longer. So
Yeah.
in a way, it's a legal ploy. But when you look at his behavior, I think it's awfully hard to say he doesn't have mania,
Yeah.
panic episodes. And psychology today is not it's lovely, but it's certainly not an academic journal. Shall we
I
say.
just happened to read that. I thought, oh, that's an interesting perspective
Yeah.
that I'll throw out there for Karen to.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to read it and see what else they had to say, but yeah.
Kind of like Cuckoo's Nest that way.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
So loved it. Great pick.
I liked it a lot too. I hadn't seen it again. These movies are always new to me, but I really enjoyed it. I heard about it for years in Jennifer Lawrence and how it was kind of her big break. And, I saw all the Hunger Games and stuff, but I never saw this one. I thought it was interesting that all his friends, well, I guess two of his friends anyway, that were in the movie were, I don't know what you call them, ethnic. One guy was black and the other guy was Hispanic.
Interesting, yeah.
So, not that that means anything, but I thought it was interesting. Even his behind Bill, his psychiatrist or psychologist is Indian. So a lot of interesting characters in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was great.
What about our other Jeff?
I thought this is prime territory for you, Karen, to dissect and take apart and comment on it. I appreciate that you did that for us. To me, my first marriage was to a woman from New York, from Long Island, and when I would go to her house, there would be this kind of communal family thing that happens, and I think it has to do with Eastern cities, and Philadelphia would be another example of that, where there's a nuclear family that no matter how bad things are, they still kind of stick together. And I think that was very much in evidence in this, and the support that they got from each other, and putting up with terrible, disastrous things like not going to the game and stuff like that. I mean, it was powerful that way. I was very impressed with Jennifer Lawrence's speeches when she went in and they were saying Pat's not there, it's messing things up. She enumerated the times that she had been with him and said, you're crazy, this is not the case. I think that just blew De Niro's character away. She says, I like her now,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And did her homework. He said, how do you know? She goes, I did my homework.
Homework.
Yeah, she was not. Neither one of them, I agree, were dumb. They were just kind of they were kind of held back by some of their behavioral patterns, but they both had a lot of chutzpah. They all knew a lot of things, and they were very functional as long as they could control those other things that were going on with them.
Right.
And I think the dancing was a very clever vehicle to develop their relationship, and the way that they related to each other. They would come this close and not kiss, and then they would split apart, but you could feel there's a tangible energy that was going on between them there. They just were not admitting at that point. He was clinging to his ex-wife, and she was clinging to whatever. She kind of didn't want to do anything, but they liked each other they admitted that later on, that they liked each other from the second they saw each other. They just didn't want to agree to that.
Yeah, you can see in that scene when they first meet, the way that they look at each other is it's palpable. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
I'm sad that Gary's not here, because if there was ever a movie that showed the arc of a character development,
Yes,
it was this
that's
one.
right. It
Yeah.
really does.
And the whole concept of the juju, I think, is an important thing to take home from this.
Yeah.
The superstition that pervaded the house with respect to the football game and the betting and all that other stuff was kind of almost overpowering. I mean, people get so wrapped up in that and gambling, and he was putting his life on the line for these stupid bets. For the movie to come out in a nice way, they had to win the bets, but that was pretty goofy.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it. I was engaged in it and liked watching it.
I wonder if, Jennifer Lawrence's character, she had all those times and dates that they were together and the scores of all the games and stuff. It's like either she'd planned ahead to keep track of all that for some reason, or she's some kind of savant or something,
Well, he asked her, how many people did you sleep with? And she said 11.
Yeah.
Like instantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was funny because you're Tommy's widow.
Oh yeah. Oh
Did I
God.
get your number?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. And then Bradley Cooper, Pat says she doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that whole Halloween sequence was really well done. First in the diner, and then when she tells him, the 11, and he's like, even the women, and then she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Bradley's like totally
Yeah.
blown away, and he keeps asking her questions about it, in her lap, and then he's like, oh no, Nikki didn't like it when I talked about that, and she,
Yeah.
and then when she realizes he thinks she's crazier than him.
Oh, yeah.
And then she just, you liked it when I talked about that, but you're afraid to live, you're a coward. And then the song, he's outside the theater where the kids, they're not kids, but they're teenagers and and he can hear the song, but it's not playing. And she brings him back. She's like, there is no song. There is no song. And I just thought that just in that scene, so much transpired. It was really, really well done. I think Russell's screenplay was tight.
It was, yeah.
That was kind of a pivotal point in the movie, really.
Uh-huh.
They had a frank conversation about stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So, who have we not heard? Well, Mattson, we haven't heard much from you.
I thought it was a great date movie. I was surprised when you were reading the awards, and I didn't do much research on the movie afterwards, but I'm really surprised the screenplay didn't get, the screenplay and direction, same guy.
Yeah.
I don't think that there was a lot of dialogue on the fly. I think most of it was pretty precise, and it was my take. And I thought, what a wonderful screenplay. And that, like a lot of our movies take place in one room, but this was in several places. The only fly in the ointment to me was when he said he wrote that letter a week ago. That is so out of character.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Right. And it didn't really add much, except I thought I was being
I just kind of tied it all back together. Now we're in love. And
yeah, but he didn't have to say he wrote it a week ago. He could have written it, whenever. But yeah,
well,
I agree with you.
I thought it was just right then.
Yeah.
Contemporaneous with the dance thing. But anyway, that's what I kind of thought, well, that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was the technical part of the movie. Acting was great, but I just was blown away by the various conversations that were documented through the screenplay.
Yeah. And then there were things that happened that were like nonverbal, but that really told a story, like right before the competition when she's trying to tie his ties,
Mm-hmm.
and he eventually just doesn't wear a tie, he just wears his collar open,
And then I couldn't figure out towards the last third of the movie, was he actually taking his meds or not taking his meds?
Yeah, yeah.
It didn't matter, but I just was curious because he kind of didn't when he was incarcerated and kind of got on him, but I don't know if she was an influence on that or if he just felt so strongly that he didn't need him.
Well, their conversation at the first dinner about the different medications that they had both
Oh, yeah.
on.
That was great. Talk
Name
about
them
a
all off.
connection.
Right,
Yeah.
trazodone. Whoa.
Oh, true. Yeah.
That was
Love
good.
that. That was so funny. And the rest of them are so out of that. It
Well,
was just,
yeah.
And I was kind of surprised there was only that one scene with his brother at the ball game.
yeah. And you
Yeah.
know, I thought you could tell Bradley or Pat was really, really starting to really understand himself a little bit more. And he keeps saying to himself, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight. Don't fight. Don't fight when everyone else is fighting until, they were hitting his brother. And I didn't think there was anything wrong with that. If someone's hurting your family, you go after him. I know that I just thought he was showing so much restraint at that point. And then it just, then it kind of blew up. Unfortunate, but it was at the same time, it's his family. And I don't know if someone's going after your family, at least I think all bets are off. You kind of, yeah.
What do you think the
protect your
time
family.
span of the movie was? I've
Pardon
got
me?
the idea it was a couple of months or something.
Was
Yeah.
part of the season anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. The
I just
football
wondered
season.
because Brad or Pat had that cut across the bridge of his nose, which was there the entire movie. So it seems like it would have healed.
Like Jack Nicholson in the
Oh, yeah.
Chinatown movie.
Yeah.
Oh, China.
I think that
Yeah.
that fight scene also brought home to me the family, the community component of that, because the police officer that kept arresting him always took him home and kind of, okay, we'll just deal with this. We're not going to
Yeah.
throw you in the can again right now.
Right.
We know what's going on with you, and your family, if they can just keep you under control, will be okay. Otherwise, he'd been in jail a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Jennifer just did or Tiffany did such a wonderful job of getting him to recognize who he was, not who, just who he was and accepting that, and vice versa. He was accepting her, but she was the one that was kind of pushing the relationship more than he was.
Yeah.
I mean, she was resilient and running after him, and so all around it was just really good. It was interesting, all the different dysfunction orders that there were. I mean, between the bipolar, and again, I think you might be right. It's maybe wasn't bipolar, but certainly that kind of, what do you call it, Karen? When I think I wrote it down. Just manic episodes, where he's
But there's a
screaming
difference
and
between
yelling.
there's bipolar 1 and bipolar 2, and
That's right. That's right. And those, they have different.
Are
Yeah.
you a
So,
psychiatrist, Karen?
Pardon me?
Are you a psychiatrist? or
Oh God,
something?
no! Medical school only. I have to give. Jeff, I couldn't have hacked it. No, I'm a psychologist. Yeah. So.
Are you
Yeah. Well,
analyzing
speaking of
this?
running, though, she chased him when, of
Yeah.
course, he changed his route. His first route was by the school and by where he and Nikki had lived. Then he changed his route to go by her house.
By her house, right?
She chased him all the way until the very end of the movie. After the
That's
dance
right.
competition, he chases her.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, let me ask a semantics question here. Donna said that she was pushing the relationship. Was she pushing it or pulling it? Because she was kind of out in front, kind of pulling him in, I thought, more than pushing him to do something or other. She was kind of creating the opportunity, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Good
just
point.
strictly a thought experiment, sort of.
Yeah, the changing her clothes with the door open in the mirror.
Right,
I
yeah,
don't think that was
yeah.
by accident.
No.
right, right.
Mhm. So that would
Yeah,
be a pull.
They
yeah,
have-
that's definitely a
had-
pull.
could
Yeah,
they
that's
have
definitely a
happy
pull.
ending if they had lost the bet?
What?
Could they have had a happy ending if they had lost the bet?
Oh, please, please, they'd all have killed each other, so.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's likely they would lose the bet, but could they have like,
They didn't.
I
You
mean,
know,
they could have still found love with each other, you know, they could have played that out. But I mean,
well, there was a Hollywood
everything
ending.
had to wrap up.
But,
Yeah, it was. They'd had to leave the family because the dad would be in ruin.
yeah,
and-
yeah,
Or, or they could go into like the, oh, what's the movie?
He
The
need,
Bear. They could go into a thing like The Bear where they
yeah,
had to go
there. Yeah,
and raise the restaurant out of disaster or whatever.
yeah.
I mean, he deserved to be in ruin. Robert De Niro did.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was
well,
like-
remember he lost his pension. And that's, and there's so many people that's got to take, you work your whole life at some company and then boom, you don't have a pension. It's just horrible. I can see, first of all, it was an Italian family, and most, at least from Chicago, Italian families have that Sunday night dinner. They all get together. It's just something that Italians do every Sunday. And, she called them homemades, but in Chicago, it would be like, it's spaghetti and gravy. They all make some Italian dish or braciole like she was making. So I don't know. I can't imagine it not ending that way. It, I had to have a happy ending. They were
Well,
we're all so far gone. Yeah.
So I think I agree with you, maybe not for the same reasons that it had to have a happy ending, but it starts with him, or it doesn't, very early on with him reading A Farewell to Arms.
Yes.
In the night, and he's, what the fuck, and throws the book out the window and storms. It's 4 a.m. He's screaming. But that's the thing. I mean, Hemingway, you don't get a happy
ending.
In Hemingway's stories, the Short Happy Life of Francis McComber. Oh my God. The wife, she murders him out in the bush, but Pat has to have that silver lining.
That's the silver lining, right?
He has to have that happily ever after. And that's what he says. I mean, the world is hard enough as it is. He says to his parents, I won't apologize, but I'll apologize for Ernest Hemingway. In the beginning of this movie, the first half of the movie, it is gritty. It is very Hemingway-esque. Screaming and the hunting for the video and the fight and all of the the terrible things, even the way that Tiffany behaves. And then it transforms itself and it becomes a very satisfying, happily ever after. They win the parlay, they fall in love. You see her sitting on his lap. And so it's sort of that again, that both the pathos and the humor in the lives of people living with mental illness. I just think, David O. Russell did a fabulous job because he's talking about love. It is a love story. It's a date movie, like Mike said. But he doesn't make love the cure. It's not a cure. It's like it's like a shelter in a storm. I think I read that somewhere, that with love, you don't, those bad things don't go away, but you're able to survive them. You're able to ride them out, that sort of thing. So I think that to answer Bill's question, it had to end with a victory. It really did, because of
you could have had the victory. I mean,
the parlay, they had to win the parlay.
Yeah, they had to.
Everything had to fall in line. Parlay.
Yeah. Silver lining. Yeah.
Does anybody else have a friend out there that they could lose all their money to and then still have them over the next week for Sunday dinner?
Oh yeah,
was an asshole.
That guy.
The life of a bookie.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's
You
like,
wanted him to lose, that was the happily ever after wasn't just,
Yeah, it's
De
that he's
Niro's
gonna
character,
lose.
Patrick's,
Yeah.
or Pat Senior winning. It was Randy losing too.
Yeah,
of course, Cowboys and all that.
Yeah. And
yeah. What's more
kinda get the
American than
idea.
cowboys or Ben Franklin or a cowboy? Which is more American? There are
the
so
guy with
many
the little
good things.
glasses and the stringy hair.
Yeah.
And
And
he
the other
probably
thing I
won.
liked is what was that thing about? Oh, that little trivial information. That's why I think that they were really smart. That trivial information about how okay became okay.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
the
Oh, yes.
old Kinderbrook or something, the old Kinderbrook Club. And
Kinderhook, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's trivial information, but
Mike,
smart.
you were going to say something. What was we?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It'll come back.
Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe.
One little thing is I remembered when I saw it the first time, it was right after she started doing those, what were they? The
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. Yeah. She was like, she portrayed a 16-year-old, right? Or even younger. And Bradley Cooper, he was a more experienced actor. I remember at the time just thinking this time gap.
Yeah, he's 15 years older than her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was hard for me because of the Hunger Games. I was like going, okay. It was one of the things
Oh.
I couldn't quite get into at the time, but I mean, I did walk away the first time thinking this is a great movie.
Well, she was
Yeah.
Holly in
I think-
Winter's Bone.
That's right.
The Winter's Bone.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah, Winter's Bone. Oh yeah, she was wonderful in that.
So the age gap is kind of like
See,
the
I
Vertigo
thought-
age gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought I kind of I guess she was only like 22 there or something, right, Karen? Something like that, 22, 21 or 22 when she made the movie.
20, yeah, something like
But
that.
my sense of her, because when he asked her I think he asked her how old she is, and she says old enough to have a marriage that doesn't end up with me in the loony bin. So I figured they were married 3 years. I don't know. I got her more like, I thought she was more like 24, 25. I was thinking maybe there's only like a 10-year difference. So I thought he was younger and she was older. I mean, obviously. I mean, I wasn't looking at the real ages. I was just looking at the relationship and thinking,
Characters.
yeah, that she seemed to be older in her mind than a 21-year-old.
Just a silly question. How's he support himself?
Who?
Bradley Cooper, Pat.
Pat. Yeah.
Very.
Well, he was a teacher, but he just lived with his
Well,
parents.
it's kind of a sub and a part-time, I thought.
Yeah.
I know he's living at home, so there's
Maybe he's a
that.
bookie too.
There you
Maybe.
go.
Yeah, really, really. He
For
probably
selling his
does that.
drugs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I that's
Tiffany, you figure she's got a pension, but from the police force.
Maybe they get better at dancing and they.
yeah. I don't think. Yeah, yeah. But it was so good. Even their dance, yeah, like you said, their dance routine was because it went from kind of classical, and then it went to crazy, then it went to jazz, then it went to ballet. I mean, it did all these, just like their relationship, like you said. It was all these different parts. So
Didn't Robert De Niro reference Dancing with the Stars in?
yeah.
How old? I didn't realize that
Yeah,
program was
exactly.
that old.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
been
Yeah,
around.
this
this
is
for
only-
a long time.
With his 12 years old, the
Yeah.
movie.
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been around that long.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
it was a contemporary reference at the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They did the Hunger Games the same year, 2012.
Wow,
Wow.
busy year for old J-Law.
And then a couple years later, they did the second Hunger Games. So she had to go back to being a young person.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she is a good actress. There's no getting
Yeah, she's
around.
good.
Dancing with the Stars started in 2005.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh,
I
it's
just
almost
looked it up,
20 years
yeah.
old.
Shame on
33
us.
seasons.
I don't think I've ever seen it. Maybe I've seen it once. I'm just, I don't know.
Never got picked.
Well, now you've seen it twice and you know
Yeah.
who won.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't win.
No, they didn't win.
Oh, but they got a 5.
Yeah, they got a
They won the
five.
parlay.
That's right.
No,
Yeah.
the ones that were so good, the professionals, I'm thinking, and they're only getting 7s. What's holy?
I
how
know,
did
yeah.
how
Tough-
did they get a
Tough
5
judges. Yeah.
when these people were giving them 7-9 or something, 7-8? It was like,
It's the big move. That's what it was. They got
That's what it
everything from the
was,
big
yeah.
move.
When they didn't completely collapse after that.
yeah.
So they had all 4s, 4.7, 4.9, whatever, and then the very last score was 5.4.
4, yeah.
The
So
average
an average,
out
it's the average of the
5.
4. Yeah. But still, it's
Yeah,
like
just
those people
Some
look like,
additional tension in the,
yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah. It was good. Just really good.
What's your favorite Bradley Cooper movie? He's done. I was looking for his filmography on Wikipedia, and I didn't see it. I mean, he's got so many movies.
I think the one he did with when he played the singer.
The
What was
one
that?
with Lady Gaga, that was good.
Yeah,
A Star is Born,
A Star is Born. Yeah.
And he's,
number 3.
yeah.
Has
I
he
didn't
ever?
care much for the Leonard Bernstein one. It was just okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was amazing in it, but it didn't do that well.
has he
Kind
won
of
an
depressing.
Yeah. And then there was no silver lining. That's just-
No.
Yeah.
Has he ever won an Academy Award for Best Actor?
Yeah, I think he
Or
did. Didn't he do
supporting role?
Sniper or something? Didn't he do Sniper?
Oh, American Sniper. He was good in that. Yeah, I
Did
saw
he win
that.
for that? Maybe? I'm not sure, but
I don't
Have
know.
any of you guys ever seen, there's a video clip circulating on, I don't know, it was Facebook probably, that shows, it's Robert De Niro. He's like speaking to an acting class or something. And Bradley Cooper is there when he's, much younger, long time ago. And he asked him a question about the certain way he played a scene in some movie. And I thought it was really interesting just because it was so long ago. And now they're in movies together.
there used to be a program called The Actors Studio. Of course, it was on PBS, I think. And that was a really good, and that's what it was it's where the Actors Studio is. And who was the direct? I forget the. I forget.
Clifton? Was that?
Lee Strasberg
Oh.
ran it. That's what it was, Lee Strasberg. And then that's where all the actors go and would really learn their craft. And it sounds like they kind of would have one guy up there. The best one, of course, was when Robin Williams was there. Oh my God. But it was just a good show because they always had an actor there that would talk about roles and what he did and how he did it, and talk with other people that were in shows as well. So it
Well,
could have
back
been
to
bad.
Jeff's question, he has been nominated for 12 Oscars, but has not won any.
Ah, wow.
That's my favorite movie, The Hangover.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's another good one.
Well,
And he's the voice in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's the
Right.
voice
Yeah.
of the-
Also good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good.
I love those
Or
movies.
The
at
voice
least
of
1
who?
and 2.
He's the voice of the fox or whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
Raccoon.
Raccoon. Yeah.
Raccoon.
Yeah.
That was real good.
Yep.
Good choice, Karen. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Very much.
Who's next?
Gary.
Gary is, but he's in Mexico and
Right. He's in Puerto Vallarta.
he's gonna have to send us what
Okay.
his pick is because our next meeting is December 9th.
So we
Right.
skip this next one?
Right.
Okay.
All right.
So that's my pick, is that right?
So the you'll.
Yes,
you'll-
on the
On the
9th,
9th,
you'll announce, yes. Then, you know, we get into the holidays, so like on the 23rd is a Monday, the 30th is a Monday. Are we taking both of those off?
Yeah, pitch them both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna be around, I don't think.
So after the 16th, then we jump clear to January 6th.
There you
Okay.
go.
That'll be Bill, right?
Bill, yeah, yeah.
When?
And then me.
January 6th.
February 6th.
January
January.
January.
or February, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Are you guys all staying home for Thanksgiving or?
We're leaving for New Orleans tomorrow morning.
Oh, Nolans, how great.
Wow, that should be fun.
Oh,
You're
that should be
driving?
good.
Yep.
Do you
We
have
haven't
family
decided if
there,
it's a
Mike?
1 day or 2 day. What's that
Is
now?
there family there or are you just
Yeah,
going?
my
they have-
daughter and son-in-law.
Oh, how fun. Oh, good.
Good to drive. The airports are going to be horrendous, I think.
Yeah, I'll
That's
get
what
there
they're
just as
saying.
fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, I imagine.
exactly.
Do you go through Arkansas?
A small piece of it before Memphis. From
Mhm.
Jonesboro. You know, you go across the really crappy road and then you get to Memphis and it's all 4-lane again.
All right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard drive through Arkansas and Louisiana, right? Nobody likes to go that way.
Oh, that's terrible.
Hmm.
Do you do that?
Well, from St. Louis, you just go straight down 55. you
Yeah,
know.
that's easy. Because there is no
That's
speed
where the
limit.
highway is.
Yeah, right, right.
There's absolutely no speed limit in Mississippi. Decided.
Really?
Yeah, but don't get caught. Yeah.
So do we have a few minutes to talk about bowl game possibilities for our Tigers? What do you think?
Oh, is that what that was about?
Ball game possibilities for Tigers. What?
Well, they say that the pool of 6, we could show up in one of those. I'd love to see them, at the Liberty Bowl, either in Memphis or that Music City Bowl in Nashville, because I think close enough that we'd see a good turnout of Mizzou fans at those bowl games.
What's their record?
8-3.
8-3.
Yeah,
And
they won this
And we
past.
got Arkansas next.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
They got a
At
chance
home.
for another loss, so it could be 8-4.
Hey, stop putting that out there.
Well played, Bill.
Put that out there.
This
How's-
other,
Silver lining,
Kansas
silver
football
lining.
team doing?
yeah,
You know-
this other team, the Kansas Jayhawks, they have
Who?
just defeated what 3 top 20 teams in a row. and
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play them right now.
they're 5-6, and when we win this week,
Ooh.
we're going to get a bowl.
Ooh, 5-6.
Too
And
bad
so
they shit on
I wouldn't
themselves.
mind seeing them play the Tigers.
Did they just have a mental breakdown for 3 games there?
It happens.
Excelsior.
I would
Yeah.
What?
So I
Touche.
would love that, but I don't think it's going to happen. But they might put them together. You never know.
Right. You never know who's going to get invited to those bowls.
How long does Jalen have left as quarterback?
Hopefully, at least 2 games.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But then he's gone. He's a senior. A lot of them.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So I don't know, Karen. Where do you want the Tigers to go?
Las Vegas.
No. I want them to go to either Memphis or Nashville.
It's as
Okay,
easy to
so go
get to
down
Las Vegas as
Go
it
down
is to Nashville.
It's true. It is easy to get to Las Vegas. Yeah, they make it very easy.
And
Yeah.
cheaper.
Yeah.
Baby,
All right. So,
new parachute.
all right. One of those 3 then. Either Las Vegas, Memphis, or Nashville.
That's what the odds makers are saying is Las Vegas or probably Nashville.
Yeah.
I think Memphis is going to be, I don't know, Ole Miss because it's so close.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Time will tell. Did anybody see any good movies? I saw Gladiator.
Oh,
Good for you. How was it?
I liked it.
Patty, not so
Jackie
much.
didn't.
Yeah, but I mean, I would say like kind of the general consensus. I went with my family. I think there were 6 of us. That it was not as good as the original,
Yeah, it
But
hasn't gotten,
it plays off the original. I mean,
sure.
it's a continuation. And I don't know, I had seen the little boat scenes in the Coliseum. I always thought that would be pretty cool. And it was pretty cool, I guess. Those kind of things, they were neat.
And
So,
it's
yeah,
got Paul
I
Mescal, so
liked
you
it, but
can't hardly argue with that.
I liked it, but I from what I'm hearing, it's not nearly as good as Wicked.
Yeah, I'm going to see Wicked tomorrow.
I am too. Or Wednesday, I'm going. Yeah.
Medium long though, from what I've heard.
Wicked
Kind
is
of gets Wicked is 3 hours.
okay.
And it's only the first half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
What do you
Wow.
mean?
But it's true. They say it's truer to the book than the play
Than
ever
the
was.
play. I saw the play in London,
Really?
I think. Yeah, and that wasn't nearly that long, although it was long, but not. I can't.
Why is this
I'm
just the first
wondering.
half?
So at the end, it says to be continued.
Right.
And do they know
Okay,
when that's
thanks.
coming out?
Well, I at the end of the play, Dorothy ends up coming. So I don't know about this one. Maybe it's still just the 2 of them before before Dorothy.
Yeah.
So this is a prequel to The Wizard of Oz?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
It's how Glinda and Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the East and the Good Witch, were friends at one time and went to school together. Oh,
Which school?
Wicked School.
Hogwarts.
Close. It's the girls next door. Yeah.
Well, they weren't sisters, were they?
No, but they were roomies.
Not easy being green.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
right.
Kermit.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Well, it's okay. We were both green. So.
Just like Dr. Patel behind you, Bill.
Yeah.
And Kermit.
He's a
If
half
anybody's
breed,
on
though.
Instagram, there's a great little to follow. It's called Kermit in Oxford, and somebody has like a really nice Kermit doll, and they just keep taking pictures of him all around Oxford.
Oh,
I
that's
follow that one.
great.
Fun. How
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Speaking of
Kermit
Kermit.
and Ox. I like it.
Yeah.
Anybody got any recommendations for while we're waiting or?
Well, I was going to say, if the woman that played the mother, Jeannie, I guess, she's also plays the director of defense, I believe, in Secret City. So if you want to see an actress that has take these 2 parts and just really, you won't even recognize. You'll recognize her, but I mean, you won't even recognize that her character is so different. And it's really good. If you like political thrillers, it's called Second City. No,
Sex in the Secret City?
no, a Secret City, the Secret City, and there's some sex in there, but it's not in the title. So
Did you say that was the mom? The mom in
yeah, and Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah, I saw her filmography. She's in Yellowstone.
Really?
Oh, she is. What's she in? Huh.
I don't think she's been in for a season or 2 though. She played like an evil woman,
Mhm.
Was she like one of the business women that was going up against
Yeah, it's coming back to me now. She was one of the business women,
Okay.
She was
Okay.
like,
conniving and kind of
yeah,
ready to kill people if she needed to?
right. Have you been watching that, Jeff? Yellowstone?
I watched the first new episode.
Yeah.
I haven't gone past that yet.
Too. So I don't have Paramount. I just have Paramount Plus. And somebody said, well, buy it. Well, I don't know, I can't seem to be able to buy it, so I don't know what
Do you,
I've got going on.
do you have YouTube TV?
No.
Oh, does anybody have YouTube?
TV?
Okay, yeah,
Gary
I
does.
know this is
Well,
off.
we had this conversation last week.
We did,
We're recycling the
we
same
did.
conversation.
We don't need to.
Yeah,
do
But
go
just
back.
one question,
Go
one
back to last
question.
week's Video.
Jeff, how do I get to my library in YouTube TV?
Oh, man, you would ask that.
You
I have
just
no idea.
Oh,
I
okay.
think there's a
right on the
little
top,
thing
it
at
says
the,
library.
Google it.
I've tried,
there's a
I
thing.
tried that, and what they said to do, I did, and it's not, but anyway, I'll figure
There's
it
a
out.
YouTube video to look up and you can tell you how to do
Yeah,
it.
I
Yeah.
did do that.
Call your grandkids.
I know, that's it.
I thought there was a little thing, a little
Yeah,
box
but
at the
not,
top.
yeah, the unfortunate part, it just doesn't come up. I mean, I know if I saw the box,
Oh.
I'd know what to do, but it's not coming up, so. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you put anything in your library?
Yeah,
Okay.
There you go.
I'll try to send you a screenshot when I send out the new.
Gone
Turn it off
forever.
and turn it back on.
I did finish Disclaimer. I know we've talked about that a little bit.
oh, yeah, that was good, but
pretty good. Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was really good.
It's listed as one of the better things that they've got on that channel at this point.
I think it's Apple TV, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a recommendation if you guys get Apple. That's really good because, well, I thought it was good.
Did Severance start back up again?
I don't think so. I don't, I
Mm.
think the last time I looked at it, it was the same one that's, from last.
I thought I saw an advertisement for the new season or something.
Oh, maybe it's about to come. I'm liking Shrinking on Apple TV.
Mhm.
Seventh
Yeah.
season?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very funny. In a very kind of
Harrison
modern,
Ford.
oblique
Yeah.
way.
I
Oh
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah.
They brought in a new character, didn't they? Or
You mean the new boyfriend? He was,
I think I heard something.
yeah.
And then the dad of the black kid
Yeah,
is
that's right,
relatively
the
new.
dad.
Yeah.
He was new this
Yeah.
season,
And
yeah.
that's a relationship that's developing as time goes along.
Yeah.
That's improving.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right.
I've been watching a couple that are, my son is in town for Thanksgiving. And so he always wants me to watch all these pretty far out TV series. One of them's called Dark. Has anybody heard of that? And that's what it is. It's dark, all right. Like if you're looking for like a really dark thing to watch, I would suggest. I haven't been able
Dark.
to yet. I have seen though that it's pretty highly ranked in some people's.
It's not dark matter,
No, just Dark.
just dark. Okay.
It's a German series that we're watching dub, but
You're gonna stay with it, huh?
I mean, yeah, I'll watch a couple more with him. Find out if I can't imagine being anything darker,
You're
There's a-
already in a hole. You just
Yeah.
keep going.
Right. Yep.
Wow.
All right.
There's a series about the jackal now too.
Oh,
that's
yes. Oh, I did watch that. And
Pretty
that's good.
intense.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. He's amazing, Eddie Redmayne. Plays Day of the Jackal. Yeah.
Yeah, but they've stretched it out to
Oh, yeah. But it's interesting. It kind of gives you more of the character.
Mhm.
Yeah. And she was
willing to do
his
anything.
wife played Tokyo, and one of my favorites is Money Heist. I don't know if you guys ever saw that, but one of my favorite series, and she was Tokyo in that. So she's a really good actress too.
Who is it?
Well, it's 8:00, guys. I'm out of here. I will see
Alright.
you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
everyone.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
Is that
holiday.
the next meeting? Is in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of December, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jeff Arthur picks, and then we skip 2 weeks and,
Well, I know Gary picks for coming up.
Gary picks.
next
then-
week, yeah.
then Jeff
but
does,
Jeff
then-
picks.
then we
on the
skip
9th,
to-
right. Right. All right, you guys. Happy,
Okay.
happy,
Okay.
happy
When did
Gobble
You
Day.
too,
When did-
everybody.
Thanksgiving. Tell Gordy hi.
Chris, when did you say, I will, when did you
What?
say, Gary's gonna pick?
Well, he has to pick
He's-
to
He's gonna
present,
email us.
yeah, on December 9th.
Okay, I'll just put that in the
You
news.
Yeah.
know,
So he,
Mexican
he's in
email, it may
Mexico,
get
so
here.
it may or may not. Yeah, so he has to give it to, so he'll present on the 9th. Jeff Arthur will pick on the 9th and present on the 16th. So then,
Then you will pick and you'll go over it on January the 6th.
yeah, we'll have a very long time to watch it.
Yeah.
Make it a good one.
Jeff, how'd your surgery go?
All's good. Yeah, well, I got
Yeah.
a big bandage on my finger, but other than that,
Let's see, I wanna see.
well, it's kind of dirty, but
Ugh.
Oh,
hey,
well,
my finger's gone.
Oh, it looked like, it made it look like it was gone there. I
Looked
thought it was
like it.
gone, it was on the wall.
I wondered what,
Nothing there. I was going, oh no.
what was that movie I saw where they chopped his hand off?
oh, gosh. Oh,
Oh, man.
one of those, so.
You watch where you do that with Jennifer Lawrence in the background there.
All right.
All right, guys, we'll see ya.
Take care. Thanks, Bill.
Have a great
Yeah, couple of weeks.
All
Take
right.
care. Nice Thanksgiving. Be safe traveling.
Thank you. You
You're
guys
welcome.
take care.
Bye. all.
Bye-bye.